I'm Jada.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're doing a movie review for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So let's just get straight into it. First up, let's talk about the characters in this movie, and let's start off with our main guy. We got Mike Schmidt. He was pretty good in this movie, very good big brother, always wants to protect Abby, make sure she's safe, make sure she's not hanging around with those animatronics, even though she does. I thought him and Vanessa had a really nice dynamic going on for the beginning of the movie. They went on a little date together. I thought there was a little bit of chemistry. I thought they made a really good team, protecting Abby, but he low-key did Vanessa so dirty at the end of the movie. He was like, I never want to see you again. Get away from me. So he low-key made me mad at the end of the movie. I was like, Mike, I literally was like, what are you doing? But overall, throughout the movie, he was pretty good. He was in the office fighting off all the animatronics. So he's a pretty smart dude, can think on his feet really quick. So yeah, he was pretty good. What'd you think about Mike?
He clearly stepped up since the last movie. In the first movie, he was all about, he doesn't know how to deal with Abby. He doesn't really want to do that. And then this movie, he stepped up. He was there for Abby more often. And you could see that he was trying to be there for Vanessa, but then everything that he keeps finding out about her, he gets mad that she's keeping secrets even though it's her life. She can tell him when she's ready. And so at the end, Mike leaving Vanessa by herself, telling her not to contact him or Abby.
Heartbreaking, truly. Speaking of Vanessa, let's talk about her. She was great in this movie. She also wanted to protect Abby and Mike. I felt really bad for her because she was, still dealing with the trauma of, her dad, and, he's been this killer for years, and it felt like no one was really taking her emotions seriously. I remember at the dinner scene, Mike's like, have you just, thought about, forgetting about it? He's like, I've moved on. You should move on, too. Dude, she's been dealing with this since she's a child. No one was taking her seriously. And then at the end of the movie, he cuts off all contact with her. Dude, she's been helping you the entire movie. I felt so bad for her. She's such a good character. She's kind, she's brave. And just nobody cared. She was good all around, though. What do you think about Vanessa?
I thought she was good. She also stepped up to help Abby. In the last movie, she tried to help Abby too, but Mike kind of put off against her because he didn't really know who she was. But with more of Mike's trust this movie, she was able to do more for Abby, but in doing so, it kind of also unleashed the movie's plot.
Yeah, speaking of Abby, we're gonna talk about her. I thought she's good. She's a cute little kid. She's adventurous. She's smart. She's definitely fearless, that's for sure. Hanging around these murderous animatronics that, could take you out at a moment's notice. They seem pretty decent with children. Didn't really like the adults. Some of them deserved it. There was only that teacher though, he low-key deserved it. He was kind of a bad person. But we're not talking about him, we're talking about Abby. Really smart kid, big heart. She's just really curious, and I thought she was really nice. What do you think about Abby?
Yeah, you could see in this movie how she grew into herself more. Mm-hmm. She was no longer the shy kid that she was in the first movie. Now she was making friends.
Yes.
She was showing off that she's actually pretty intelligent. She made an entire robot in class before the teacher broke it.
I know.
And then she was able to figure out how to get the animatronics to be able to leave, even though Vanessa did most of that too. But she let animatronics go. She's very trusting of people.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's a 7-foot robot. You're my new best friend. I trust you 1,000%. Speaking of those 7-foot tall animatronics, let's talk about the marionette. Definitely the star of the show for me, V. She was really good. Definitely not the marionette we're used to, because in the game she's more of a gentle spirit. She gave all the children life through the animatronics. In this movie, she's a vengeful spirit. She is out for blood, and I low-key loved it. She was a really good threat throughout the whole movie. The entire time, I'm when is she gonna pop out again? I was so scared the entire time. Her possession ability really freaked me out. I did not like the black running down people's faces, the glowing eyes. It was really scary. I thought the marionette definitely stole the show. She was a really good threat throughout the entire movie, and she offered a good challenge for our characters. What'd you think about the marionette?
Yeah, the marionette, it's clear that Blumhouse said that they were going to amp up the scares, and they used the marionette very well in doing that. Yeah, her possession scenes were freaky, but on the marionette, there's also the music box element.
Yes, the gimmick from the games. Love it.
They just kept closing it.
I don't know why they kept closing it. Just leave that thing open. Oh my god. But of course we have other animatronics. We had Toy Chica, who was a big one everyone was anticipating. I loved that girl. She was great. She looked like she was ripped straight out of the games, as all the animatronics did. I really liked how she had like this two-faced, like split personality thing going on, you know, being all nice with Abby and, oh, I'll be your class project, but then, you know, like being this menacing monster, like behind her back, you know, taking the teacher and being like, why'd you break a robot? Bam, bam, bam. Like taking him out. He deserved it, because, like, why'd you break her robot? But she was good. She was probably like the second main animatronic. She was in every scene. She was very menacing, very intimidating, and I thought she was a really nice threat all around. Thoughts on Toy Chica?
Yeah, she's very clearly the one, in the trailers and stuff, she would be the one that they showed the most also.
Yes, for the marketing.
And so you gotta see Toy Chica, in the games, did she have a big role?
In FNAF 2, she was a main threat. She could come from the front and the two side vents, and then she'd do her thing where she could take off her beak, which we did see in the movie, where she's missing her beak and she's got these black eyes, which makes her even scarier. So yeah, she's got a pretty big role in the games.
Yeah, so they kind of put that in with the movie and everything too.
Yes, they definitely played into that. Moving along, we have Mangle. She's my favorite animatronic from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I love, obviously, her color scheme is pink and white, but also her design is very creepy because she's just like this big amalgamation of parts. Like, she's the take apart, put back together attraction, so she doesn't really have like a body. She was very threatening, definitely the most aggressive. The scene with Vanessa driving the car and like breaking through the glass, I was like, oh my god, like, is homegirl gonna get out of this? Like, she was a really good threat. Like, if I saw that in real life, shoot, like, I'd be scared. But I really liked Mangle. She was definitely a good threat throughout the whole movie, and she really contributed to the scare factor a lot. A lot of her jump scares, I was jumping out of my seat. She was really good. What'd you think about Mangle?
Yeah, with horror movies, it's a lot to get me jump scared, but the scene in the car, even though it's in the trailer, it got me in the theaters because you're expecting something to happen, and then all of a sudden, just like the hand breaks through like the window and starts grabbing at Vanessa. Another thing with Mangle that I thought was funny was the scene where Vanessa
It's her
slams
with
on the brain.
car.
Like,
she goes flying through the glass. A very quick end for Mangle. Moving along, we have Toy Bonnie. I thought he was pretty good. He wasn't in the movie like a lot, not as much as Mangle, the marionette, and Toy Chica, but I thought his couple of scenes were pretty good, decently intimidating, which is impressive considering how high-pitched his voice was, but it works with the design. You know, the glowing red eyes holding like the mother at knife point, and the daughter's like, please don't take her out. And he's like, why? Like, parents are bad. But, you know, I thought he was pretty good. He made first a couple good little scenes that were pretty memorable. What'd you think about Toy Bonnie?
Yeah, Toy Bonnie, you could see him also having being friendly with the child, and then having the two-faced, oh, it's an adult, I'm gonna go after them. And so you kind of see it happen with the fact that the child, after Toy Bonnie was nice to them and going after the parents, it starts to get mad at the child too for protecting the parent.
Yeah, like, why are you doing that? Oh my goodness. Moving along, we got Toy Freddy. He was, you know, for a movie called Five Nights at Freddy's, he surprisingly was not very present. He had like a couple scenes. They were decent. I thought his voice was very jarring. Because in the game Ultimate Custom Night, he speaks, he sounds like a goofball, and that's what he sounds like. So when he opened his mouth and, you know, his voice is like 50 million decibels down here, I was like, what? But it was a decent enough take. He had a couple, like, decent scenes. I thought the Faz Fest, like him walking through the crowd, was funny because people thought it was a cosplay, but No, that's just a big animatronic that could literally take you out right now. I thought he was decent. Thoughts on Toy Freddy?
Toy Freddy, yeah, as you said, he wasn't very much in the movie. And so we kind of get this, the few scenes that he is in, he manages to secure himself as a threat through just like his voice and his intimidating stature. But then he also just, I don't think he does much of anything.
He broke into like that house with that couple and they're like, what are you doing? But he was just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm gonna take you out. And then, did Mangle hit him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mangle comes flying through the window and takes him out. So
he just turns around and just looks.
like, no. But yeah, those were all our animatronics. Some of our other human characters, we have Henry, who is Charlotte's dad, which is, you know, the marionette. He was decent. He wasn't in the movie like a lot, you know. Gotta feel bad for the guy. He lost his daughter when she was very young, so feel bad for him. He was also helpful, you know, being like, Mike, this is how you stop the marionette. Use the music box. But then Mike was like, let me close it. So I don't know why no one like truly listened to him, but you know, I thought, you know, you feel bad for him, and he also was pretty helpful. So I thought Henry was a decent guy. What'd you think about him?
Yeah, he gave like meaningful exposition that clarified some things from the first movie, and also gave backstory more onto the character of William Afton.
Yes.
And so we kind of see this dynamic where Mike is kind of put off against him, like he's not very sure he can trust him, but he still takes the information and uses it, kind of.
Yeah, you're looking at this guy and you're like, I feel like he's hiding something, but he's got useful information, so I'm gonna take it. Moving along, we got Michael Afton. I thought he was the scariest thing in this movie. His smile was really freaking me out. When he popped up on screen, I think I screamed the loudest when I saw him. Not even like animatronics taking out people. He was really creepy. He was really freaking me out, but you know, that was his role. So I thought, you know, he was a nice like silent threat in the background. Like he's the reason the marionette and all those animatronics woke up, because like he set like that trap for like the investigator team where like they film like exploring abandoned places. So, you know, I thought he was decent. He was just really freaking me out. I don't know, what'd you think about him?
Yeah, he very clearly is like the trying to be a red herring character, but it's like with how they introduced him as just call me Michael.
Right away, I was like,
he's wearing purple, and you can see that he's very happy when the investigation, like the paranormal investigating team, starts getting picked off one by one. He's still smiling throughout that, and so you can start to like picture like this guy might be a bad guy.
Right off the bat, I was like, Michael Afton? I was detecting bad vibes. Speaking of Aftons, William Afton, he was here for a little bit at the intro and then in the dream sequence with Vanessa. It's amazing how, despite not being physically present, he is still a nuisance, and all of his work, like all the animatronics he created, are being monsters and then just invading Vanessa's nightmares and being like, you gotta be a murderer like me, and she's like, no. So, you know, he's a good guy. Well, not a good guy, but he was a good character. He was a good character. Bad man. Very evil. What did you think about William Afton?
Yeah, William Afton, he was still managing to be menacing, like in the first movie, but this time, there's no like twist, oh, he's the bad guy. Yeah. No, he's menacing throughout all his scenes.
You already know.
In the parts of like, even if it's not like a dream sequence, he still is like messing with Vanessa's mind.
Yes.
And like she's doing like a little workout session.
Yes, oh my god, that scene.
And someone goes to like check on her, but then what Vanessa sees is
the rabbit costume coming up to her, about to like take her out.
And so you can still see his PTSD that he gave to her throughout everything that he's done in her past. So the plot of the movie is that we are set a year after the first movie. And so here it is that everyone's trying to get back on their feet from the last movie. We get Mike finally paying more attention to Abby. He's trying to be there for her. Abby actually being grateful that that's happening. But she's still also trying to cope with the fact that she wants her friends again, like the animatronics from the first movie. And so we see her constantly going to the pizza place where Mike decides to just continuously lie to her over like, oh, they're sick, I'm trying to help them. And so we kind of see this rift start to form between the two when Abby finally meets the toy animatronics, and they convince her to help them leave. And so we get the plot of the movie where it's that toy animatronics are going through the town, the marionette's controlling them with her possessions, and we get to see them try to do havoc, but it doesn't really do much of anything.
Yeah.
And then we also have the twist that Michael Afton. We get the regular animatronics. They come back at the end to help.
Yes. One last showdown.
And we get to see the consequences of Vanessa still not having like trust fully with people. Mike not trusting her specifically over what he thinks is her keeping secrets. And we get to see all this starting to build up towards the third final movie.
I really like the plot and the story of this movie. That opening scene alone was absolute cinema. Way better than the opening scene from the first movie, because you get to see, Charlotte's backstory of her becoming the marionette, trying to save a child who's about to get murdered just to end up dying herself. And then with this movie, in the last one, the animatronics were confined to the pizzeria. In this one, they're in the town, which makes it even scarier. And you also have this marionette going around that's possessing people, killing people. It was very much a nail biter, like all the way through. I thought horror was executed pretty well. They did good with jump scares and ambiance and things. So I thought it was pretty good. The ending, low-key made me mad. I think cliffhanger endings can work, but this one I feel like wasn't the best. Like, gearing up towards the end of the movie, I'm like, oh my god, the story's developing. Oh, we're gonna have a final showdown with the marionette, and then the movie just cuts with Vanessa getting possessed. I remember literally pointing at the screen and going, that's it? What do you mean we're done? Like, I wanted more movie. Like, yeah, I'm excited to see the next film, but like, I wish they would have finished the rest of this movie. I feel like it just kind of ended abruptly. Like, the action was rising, and then they stopped. That end credit scene, though. Ooh, we are getting Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We're getting Springtrap. So I'm excited for that.
Another thing is, like, they were building up throughout the entire movie for, like, the toy animatronics, they're the big bad, and then with the twist, Michael Afton, that kind of just, like, fell apart at the end.
Yeah.
The regular animatronics somehow left.
Yeah.
It's never explained how, even though they're confined in the first movie, now they can just leave. And then, like,
ghost magic.
A random side character just clotheslines Michael.
Yeah. Just his one, like, buddy from the mall in the first movie. But overall, I mean, I thought the story was pretty good. I'm excited to see the next one. The ending just made me mad. Alright, now we're gonna look at some of the references, callbacks, all the cameos that happen in this movie, because, whew, there were so many. First off, we have the opening scene of Charlotte dying, and the marionette is holding her in its arms, which is a reference to a line from Pizzeria Simulator where Henry, Charlotte's father, is giving like this speech, and he's like, on that day, the day that you were shut out, no one was there to lift you into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And the marionette is literally lifting her in its arms, which I was like, ooh, love a good little reference. And then we had an Ultimate Custom Night line where Vanessa was in the building and the puppet was like, I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way. Like, hearing that, I was like, ooh, because it's such a good little line from Ultimate Custom Night, and I really liked it, so I was like, that's a fun little reference. There, of course, was the little meme of the Freddy Fazbear, the I about fell out of my seat. It was so good. I was like, I can't believe they threw that in. That was great. We got a quick little Shadow Bunny cameo, which is like a rare character you can get in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It's in the scene where Mike is kind of like fighting off the withered animatronics. He stands up and he flashes the flashlight, and right before he clicks it, you can see Shadow Bunny standing there, and then obviously as soon as he turns off the light, he's gone. It's a very quick, if you blink, you'll miss it moment, so you really gotta look for that. At the beginning of the movie, in the pizzeria, on some of the arcade machines, there were references to Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. Like, there was one that had Candy the Cat on it from Five Nights at Candy. So I was like, it's nice that they're referencing, like, fan work. Like, it's really nice that they're making this movie for the fans, but also including fan projects in it. I thought that was really cool. We have Vanessa taking her stuff out of a box in the closet that is very reminiscent of the box from like one of the endings of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 that has like the lock on it. So it's like, that was a nice little callback, and the fact that it was kept in the closet, because in FNAF 4 that's a big gimmick. Don't let Foxy out of the closet. You gotta keep him in there or you're dead. My favorite cameo, Circus Baby from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. I literally was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, she's here. Because that just makes so many questions arise. Like, is Elizabeth Afton canon, which she might be to the movie universe, because Circus Baby's eyes, they're normally blue, but when she gets possessed by Elizabeth, her eyes are green. And in the movie, her eyes were green. So, are we gonna get another Afton daughter in this? Who knows? Of course, there's the whole music box gimmick from the game FNAF 2. You gotta wind up the music box. If you don't, Marionette is coming to get you. But another cool little detail with the music box is inside of it, there's a little ballerina that looks like Ballora, which is one of the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. So I thought that was a nice little reference. We had Corey X Kenshin back as the taxi driver, really popular YouTuber. He's done FNAF Let's Plays. And, you know, it was a nice little callback to the first movie of him taking Abby to the pizzeria with Golden Freddy and being like, I got some weird customers up in here. And then, of course, the end credit scene of the guys finding, you know, William Afton's decaying corpse in the suit, being like, we found one, a real one. That's a line from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. So there were a lot of cool little references and callbacks to the games that I noticed. Did you notice anything cool or fun in the movie?
Yeah, with it's more of like the actors, but the fact that they made Skeet Ulrich come to play Henry Emily, who in the games is William Afton's partner. William Afton, played by Matthew Lillard, it's basically a Scream reunion. Alright, so now we're on the animatronics, and the Jim Henson Company did really well again for this movie. They always do really well for all of the movies and projects they're a part of. They actually used animatronics for a majority of the movie, and then if they needed like extra mobility, they would make a suit for an actor to get in. And the fact that they also used actual puppetry for the marionette in most scenes. And so we kind of get this realistic looking FNAF characters. Like they look from game to screen. They go into great detail into making them look exactly like how they did in the games. The part where Toy Chica's kind of like beak fell off and she had the black eyes fit the game perfectly. And then we get the fluidity of Mangle.
Yes, oh my god.
And so kind of you can see how the fact that she is broken parts put together just randomly.
Yes, I applaud the crew for actually building these monsters rather than making them full CGI. I am a big fan of, you know, practical effects, and every single animatronic looked like they were plucked straight out of the game. The marionette, it's funny that they made the puppet a puppet and they were actually puppeteering with it. Really good, very realistic. Mangle, she was beautiful. The fact that they were willing to create something that's just this big amalgamation of parts, like I can't even begin to think how long it took to build that thing. It was really good. And then of course all the toy animatronics looked really nice. The withered animatronics also looked phenomenal. The nice rotten kind of old decaying look made them very, very scary. You had other quick little characters like the little marionettes and Balloon Boy that Mike ended just like real quick. But the production team, the crew that designed these things did a really phenomenal job. Everything looked so realistic because it was literally right there. And it gave the actors something to actually react to, which probably made their performances even more realistic because there's literally the monsters right in front of them. They don't have to like talk to a pole. They actually have something coming at them, so very natural acting, and it just made it all perfect. The animatronics and the puppeteering work in this movie, absolutely beautiful. They did a great job. Now we're gonna tackle the set design and the editing that was going on in this movie. Their set design, just like the last movie, absolutely beautiful. I really liked the pizzeria at the start of the movie. It's super bright and colorful and fun. I liked seeing all the little rides. That little boat ride looked super fun. They really did a good job of capturing the essence of this place that, you know, kids want to go hang out and have fun. And then later on in the movie, you see the abandoned version of it. And they did a really good job of making it like a night and day difference, taking this place that was known for making good memories and being happy and fun and making it super unsettling. It's very dark in there, it's dirty. Things are flipped over, they're broken. Like, that's a place you don't want to be in. Very, very creepy. I thought the Faz Fest was really fun. I liked seeing all the little attractions that were around, all the decorations, people walking around in their costumes and their cosplay was really fun. So I thought that was really cool. Of course, we have, editing-wise, the puppet's possession ability. Very scary, giving all of the people like these super long limbs with like the claws coming at you. Having the glowing eyes, the bleeding black coming down, was all executed really well. I thought the movie also did a nice job of implementing, you know, music, sound effects, and ambiance to make really creepy moments. I think to when that little investigation team is exploring the building and Lisa, which is the blonde girl, is walking around and she discovers the marionette, you know, having like, it's silent, but you can hear the music box in the distance. So that made for a really creepy moment, like, where's the music coming from? Oh, she's in the room. What is she about to discover? Overall, just like, every location looked phenomenal. The office being a 1-to-1 to the FNAF 2 game was already spectacular. I was like, they did it. They ate. What do you think about the set design and the editing?
I thought it was really good. You get to see, they played into the 80s aesthetic for the opening.
Yes, I loved it.
Set in 1982. And you get to see the 80s aesthetic stay there in the abandoned version. So you kind of see how many things nowadays, when they're abandoned, they are like a snapshot of the time period that they're from. And so with that, we also get to see even like the boat ride in the water. Like, it's clear water then, but then when it goes to the present day, you can see like moss, you get to see like mold and everything.
Can't see what's lurking in there.
They use that quite frequently for scares.
Oh yeah, that scene was horrible. The little puppets coming out. It's like, no!
And then when it comes to like the outside of the pizzeria, it looks like how you would expect a pizzeria to look, and it matches like the sign looks like in the games too.
The characters, a little checkerboard pattern, having like the paper pals on the walls, which are like little things from the games that like the kids at the pizzeria made. It was really nice to see their attention to detail was really good. It's very clear that like they understood the games and they did a really good job of translating it to real life.
So now we're going on to the acting and voice acting in some cases. Josh Hutcherson, once again, phenomenal. You get to see him kind of step into the older brother role, and he's actually nice to Abby. He actually wants to do stuff with her. And then we get to see him like kind of like turn into like a more kind of angered form when it comes to his acting towards Vanessa's character. And we also get to see him actually use like his smarts for like his character wise.
Fending off the animatronics. Yeah, I agree. Josh Hutcherson, he's been acting for years. He did a good job stepping into that big brother role, and then also being like quick on his feet with his acting, you know, showing like, oh, I gotta fit off the animatronics. I've done this before. I can do this now. But then like being mean to Vanessa at the end, like, dude, what the heck? But his acting, I mean, he did a really good job. It felt very real, and he really just became Mike. He did a good job.
Alright, now it's Elizabeth Lale as Vanessa. You could clearly see that she's like method acting to an extreme. Every time she goes to act like she's scared, you can see her go like 110% with that.
Yes.
And you can also see that she's still kind to Abby and Mike, even though Mike doesn't really trust her. And so her performance was really good. I thought it was better than the first movie, and you get to her adding on to her character more as time goes through the movie.
Yeah, I feel like with the first movie, obviously her role was to be more of a mysterious, you didn't really know much about her, but just by the acting could have maybe seen a little more static. But in this movie, we already know who she is. I mean, we learned a few extra secrets about her, but we already knew who she was going into the movie, and I thought Elizabeth did a really good job, especially with what you were saying, when she got scared, those tears, just the raw emotion. I was like, poor girl's going through it. I felt bad for her. But she did a phenomenal job, and then also showing the caring side, I'm gonna protect you guys, here's what we need to do. But then also just feeling bad for her at the end, because what the heck, what do you mean they abandoned you? You literally were so helpful the whole movie. But yeah, she did a really good job playing Vanessa.
Alright, now we're going on to Piper Rubio, who plays Abby. You could see now that she's trying to act more as a kid would act.
Yeah, not so much of over clueless, but a big ball of energy.
She's starting to show off more of her people skills when she's acting. And we get to see her acting against someone who's technically not a person. It's the animatronics.
Yes.
And so we get to see how even though she's not talking to someone, she's still managing to act as if she is, and she's getting a response back from them.
Yes, the interactions feel very real because she's treating the animatronics as if they are physical human beings, which I think is really impressive to do. Because I mean, you're talking to a big hunk of metal. She did a really good job portraying Abby's curious, adventurous side, showing off her smarts. And I thought she was really good in this movie. Last movie she did a good job of showing how reclusive Abby was, but in this movie she got to show off more of that fun, bubbly personality she had, being on the bus, being yeah, and then the animatronics came and they protected me, and all the kids were is she okay? She's telling the truth. But yeah, I thought Piper did a really nice job.
Alright, so now we're going on to the people who played the marionette, and this is quite a few people with the possessions. We got Audrey Lynn Marie, who plays Charlotte.
Yes.
And then we got McKenna Grace and Piper Rubio were both possessed by her. And so we get to see all three of them have the different stages of the marionette. We get Audrey, you can see how she gains that distrust for adults through them. You can see her first act very sweet. She's nice to a younger Vanessa. And she's just sitting there as a kid would when she's being ignored by people. She picks something as her go-to to feel she's got friends. So we get to see Audrey act off against the puppet, and then her being scared and angry when she's getting attacked, saving the kid. And then we get McKenna Grace showing off the decades-long anger finally bubbling through the puppet, finally being released. And so we get the scare factor with McKenna Grace, going to a 10 with that. And we get to see how McKenna Grace, before she gets possessed, she's this nice person.
Yeah,
she's just curious. She's a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
And the switch to the evil. And then her threatening Vanessa, that side. And
Stay
then
out of my way.
then we get to Piper Rubio being possessed by the marionette. And she also stacks up on the scares. She doesn't do, she's not the puppet as long as McKenna Grace was.
Yeah.
But you still, in the small amount of time that she is, you still get to see her playing up the face, her constantly taunting Mike. What do you think?
I thought, Audrey did a fantastic job, with that whispery, ghost-like, childlike demeanor and voice, because that's what the marionette is. It's very unsettling, very spooky. She did a really good job with that, and then also doing a good job at the beginning of the movie, showing this desperate little girl that just wants to help somebody, but no one's helping her. And then McKenna Grace, she freaked me out. I was when's she gonna pop out next? Because she did a really good job of that ghostly heavy breathing, possessed sound. And then also having, like, the visual of, like, the makeup on her was really scary. She did a really good job of showing, like, that difference between, like you were saying, like, her being, like, this nice little girl that just wants to, like, explore this place and then becoming, like, this possessed evil monster. Piper Rubio also really freaked me out. I thought she visually looked the scariest possessed by the puppet. I was not playing with her. I'm low-key glad her possession scene was really short because I was like, get her off the screen. She's really freaking me out. But that was good because it's a scary movie. But yeah, all our girls who were playing the marionette did a really good job.
Now we're on to the animatronics. We get Megan Fox as Toy Chica. When she was announced as Toy Chica, I was like, let me listen to Toy Chica's voice lines. And as I was like, Megan Fox could probably do that. Megan Fox did amazing in that role.
Mm-hmm.
She acted motherly kind of to Piper's character.
Let's go to school.
And then you also get to see her play into her menacing side, like she was in a bunch of other horror movies that she's been in.
Yeah.
And so we get to see both sides of like this range of Megan Fox's acting roles.
Yeah, when she got announced, I was like, oh, she's gonna eat. Like, I already knew right off the bat, because I already knew, like, Toy Chica's voice. I'm like, she's gonna eat this up. And she did. Her voice was perfect. She did a good job of showing off, like, that double-sided two-faced personality, like you were saying. Like, being all sweet with, oh, Abby, let's go play. But then, like, to the teacher, like, oh my god, like, you're horrible. All adults deserve to be punished. She did a really good job. Her vocal range was really good. And obviously, she's acted in horror movies before. So, like, I already knew she was going to do good. I trusted her, and I thought Megan Fox, she ate down as Toy Chica. She did a really good job.
And now we get on to Toy Bonnie. We get the Map Pat.
The map. Hello, Internet!
When he was announced, I'm like, yeah, he could probably do it. I looked up Toy Bonnie's voice lines. I'm like, yeah, he has that range. He can get up there. And he knows these characters better than maybe even the creator Scott Cawthon does.
He's been doing this for years.
But the fact that he was able to get this role was crazy. And even though he doesn't really say much in the movie, he still gets to play off of that playful side that he's used to, and then he also shows off the menacing side, but still with that little playful tone in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Matt Pat got announced, I was like, ooh, I love Matt Pat, but I was like I wasn't really sure what he was gonna do. And then as soon as Toy Bonnie spoke in the movie, I was like, that's Matt Pat? Like, I didn't know he possessed that vocal range. That was actually very impressive, but it fit, like, Toy Bonnie's design, because, like, he looks like a super young, chipper, like, excited little rabbit, and he did a really good job. He didn't have many scenes where he got to speak as Toy Bonnie, but I thought his few scenes were very memorable, and he did a good job of, you know, being with the kid and being like, I'm gonna go ask your mom if we can have a sleepover, and then, like, going up to the mom and being like, oh, all parents stink, like, I'm gonna get you. So yeah, I thought Matt Pat, he did a really good job as Toy Bonnie, with what few scenes he had, but he did a good job.
Alright, next we got Toy Freddy, Kellen Goff, and he's played Freddy before.
Yes, he voices multiple different versions of Freddy Fazbear in the games, so he knows Freddy.
Toy Freddy was the one that I didn't look up to see what his voice lines were, because people had said, oh, he's played Freddy before, so I just trusted that he'd do well. And so when he had his few lines that he said, I was like, okay, that sounds like him in the other Freddy, like the Freddy games that he's been in. So I'm like, okay, he just matched that there. So he's like, he's experienced with being Freddy.
Yeah, Kellen Goff, he did a good job. He's voiced so many different versions of Freddy, you know, Funtime Freddy, Molten Freddy, Glamrock Freddy, Freddy Fazbear in, like, the AR game. So he knows Freddy. It was a very different take for Toy Freddy than I'm used to, because in Ultimate Custom Night, had you looked it up, I mean, he talks like this, and he sounds like a goofball. So when he started talking, it was like his voice is all the way down here. I was like, alright. I wasn't expecting it, but it's kind of like a classic Freddy voice that Kellen Goff is, like, known for, and he's a really talented voice actor. And I mean, it worked. It definitely helped to make him more intimidating, because you have, like, this giant bear coming at you that looks super, like, cute and plasticky, but then he has, like, the voice of a demon. So, I mean, I thought he did a really good job. Kellen Goff, he's been in this franchise for years, and he did good for the few little scenes that he got to speak as Toy Freddy.
Next up, we got Skeet Ulrich as Henry. I'm used to seeing Skeet Ulrich in the Scream movies as like this menacing, this serial killer.
Yeah.
But seeing him actually be like concerned father, he's nice to people. That was kind of like a what is going on? But he's really good at playing the nice, caring father. And so seeing him in this new like kind of role was kind of fresh to me, and so I liked it.
He did a really good job, like you were saying, Skeet Ulrich, of capturing like the essence of a father who's really just been mourning the loss of his daughter for years, kind of ashamed of his background, as we learn later on. You know, he's William Afton's business partner, so it's kind of his fault that all these murders happened, like indirectly, because obviously he didn't kill the kids, but he created these machines that led to their murder. He did a really good job of portraying just like that loss and sadness and like depression, but also, you know, doing a good job of being like helpful, like this is how you need to stop the marionette, you know, we need to stop all this, we need to end it now. And you know, it was interesting to see him playing like a caring figure rather than like a serial killer, but I thought he did a really good job. He's a good actor, and I thought Skeet Ulrich did a really good job.
Next we got Freddy Carter as Michael Afton. I had only seen Freddy Carter in one other project, and so hearing him not use his British accent kind of like threw me off. I'm like, okay, let's see how you can do. And him overdoing the scare factor.
Yes. Yes.
But that's just like his regular, that's just how he looks. And so...
He's made for horror.
So seeing this new take on how Freddy Carter is acting, when I heard he was going to be in the movie, I'm like, oh, that's unique. And so seeing him in the movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see why they hired him for this. He doesn't really do much for the movie other than just like put some plot points into effect.
It's like a silent threat on the back burner. Yeah, I mean, Freddy Carter, he did a good job. He scared me. I didn't like that smile. He was really freaking me out. But he did a really good job of like capturing that like unsettling, mysterious factor. Like, who is this guy that's just at this abandoned building? And why was he expecting these people to show up? And why is he so happy that these people are all dying? He did a really good job with that. He did a really good job of capturing the essence of a man that has just truly lost his mind. He was made for horror. I didn't really know who Freddy Carter was going into this, but I'll never forget that smile. That's for sure. It'll haunt my nightmares for the rest of my life. But he did a really good job.
And finally, we have Matthew Lillard as William Afton. Him continuing to play that scary person he played at the end of the first movie. You get to see him flesh that character out more. You get to also see him have that double-faced perspective. It's like he's acting nice in front of all the parents and all the kids until he gets them alone. Then you get to see him go into that serial killer mindset.
Yes, Matthew Lillard doing a fantastic job. Once again, being William Afton. The opening scene being like, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria," and then like that opening scene, he was very scary. Even though I don't really think he spoke in like that killing scene of taking the child, just like him whistling, while washing the blood off his hands, and then in and out of the rabbit costume, he's really scary. He does a really good job of capturing the psychotic nature that is William Afton. And like the dream sequences being menacing, even though he's not even in a costume, he's just like walking around in like a shirt and jeans. Still like freaking Vanessa out, freaking me out. Matthew Lillard, he's a legend, and I thought he did phenomenal in this movie. He did a really good job. All the actors did. Shout out to all the actors and voice actors. Y'all did a fantastic job. All right, final rating of FNAF 2. I thought it was really good. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I definitely was not bored. I thought they did amp up the horror like they said they were going to. The puppet scaring me. Michael Afton really freaking me out. I thought it was really good. It had a good story going, and then they just kind of stopped it, but it was a pretty good movie overall. So, you know, the ending low-key made me mad, but overall I thought it was a pretty good movie. So I'll give Five Nights at Freddy's 2 a 9 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. What about you?
See, the movie was really good. It was building up towards like this big finale for the movie. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see where this goes. And then it did what Across the Spider-Verse did and ended on a cliffhanger, but also just like there's nothing really happening at the end.
Yeah.
It just kind of like stops.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like this movie, it's good, like a good standalone movie, but it could be better if you do like the marathon if watching all three at the time, like in a row.
Yeah.
And so, in my opinion, good movie. I didn't really like the ending either. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Ooh. Well, you know, we're all entitled to our opinions, but it was a good movie. We can both agree on that. Well, anyways, thanks for watching our movie review of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Stay on the lookout for more content from ENTV, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.